You are about to learn how to cut out a very difficult subject and perfectly integrate it into a new background. All this just in a few steps. Let's jump right in. So this is our subject. We want to get rid of the background. What we are going to do is this. As you can see, the background is very even, so it shouldn't be that difficult to cut it out from the background. Is that what you might guess? But if you take a closer look, you will see that the hair will be very difficult to cut out. I am going to show you now how we can do this. And if you're asking what this group over here is, this is the background where we will integrate the subject later on. At first, we will duplicate this layer by dragging the subjects layer onto this little plus icon. And we will drag the main layer underneath the background. Choose the copy of the layer, go to the left side of the toolbar and hit the Object Selection tool. Now go to the top and choose Select and Mask. Our subject will appear in a second. Just go over here to the left, click the little arrow and choose Cloud. Then click Select Subject. There it is. Make sure your view is set to onion skin. This ensures that you can see the background behind. With the transparency slider, you can decrease or increase the visibility of the background. And I'm not gonna lie, for the first setting this looks pretty good. But if you look closely, like over here, you will notice that Photoshop did not detect everything what we want to get rid of. And also Photoshop did not detect every hair. This will be more clear when we increase the transparency. Just drag the slider to the left. And now you will notice that Photoshop missed quite a few hairs on the outer edges. But we are going to fix that. To fix it, go to the left side of the toolbar and choose the Refine Edge Brush tool. Zoom a bit in and now gently paint just over the outer edges of the subject. Don't go too far inwards, otherwise you will select the reflections of her hair. After that, to increase the visibility of our selection, we can go to the Shift Edge adjustment and drag it a little bit to the right, but not too far like this, otherwise you will notice a big halo around the selection. So we bring that right back to around here, like 11, 10, maybe a bit less. After that, we hit OK and we will take a look at our selection. Hold Alt or Option to click on the layer mask to see what we've got. This looks quite good to me. But if you look closely, you can see here, as I mentioned before, something like a halo effect around the outer edges of our selection. We're gonna get rid of this and I show you how. Make a new layer. To create a new layer, just click the little plus icon over here. Now hold Alt or Option and click as soon as possible as this little icon here appears. Now we converted this layer to a clipping mask and all we're going to do on this layer will only affect the layer beneath. Next, we will go to the toolbar on the left and choose the brush tool. Zoom into the picture. Now hold Alt or Option and pick a color from the image. Try to choose a color tone which is not too dark or too bright, something like a dark gray tone, like this. Make sure you have selected the new layer and now gently paint over the outer edges. Looks pretty bad, right? We are going to fix that now. We will change the blend mode to multiply and we will convert this layer to a smart object. Next, we will go up to Filters, Blur, and choose the Gaussian blur. Now increase the radius up to a point where you can clearly see that our painted edges will blend perfectly with the rest of her hair. For this image, it's around, I would say something around 100, a little bit over 100, like 106 over here. Click OK. And now when we zoom in, you will see that we also painted over the reflections of her hair. And this is quite unrealistic. To fix that, we will open up this layer and change the blending options. Just double tap on this layer, go to the blending options, and down here by underlying layer, you will notice this little slider. If you now hold Alt or Option and you click on this little slider here, it will split up. Now you can move the left side of the slider and also the right one separately from another. We will choose the left side of the slider and drag it around to a value like this. We are here around like 70, I think. Hit OK. And now, if you look closely, you will see that our painted edges will no longer affect the reflections of her hair. So the last thing I will do is I will decrease the opacity of this layer so that it looks a bit more realistic. Around 30% less. Looks good to me. If you click this little icon here, you will see the before and the after. And that's about it. I think it's amazing. This is one of my favorite ways to cut out people from its background and integrate them to a new one. But what do you think about this method? Just let me know and write it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button to never miss out an upcoming video on my channel. See you in the next video. Peace.